COVID cases in San Diego County are on the rise once more. We'll have the details in tonight's show.
And the entertainment capital of the world is hosting a major sports event tomorrow. Find out which one in sports.
And the biggest names in Cuban music are coming to San Diego. Find out who coming up in entertainment.
And the largest high school in San Diego is facing backlash for curriculum changes. Learn more in my in-depth report.
Newscene starts now. That's it, right? We're good. Good evening. I'm Jakob McWhinney, and welcome to this week's edition of Newscene, a broadcast produced by the students of San Diego City College. Every Wednesday, we bring you the latest news of the week. We continue to follow all necessary local, state, and federal guidelines to ensure a safe environment for those back on campus. But we remain as focused as ever on bringing you the latest. We start tonight with students and parents who have been frustrated with the decision to drop honors courses at a local high school. It looks like officials may have changed their minds about the decision. Jillian, can you give us the latest?
Thanks, Jacob. After weeks of student and parent protests, the largest high school in San Diego has decided to pause on some of the changes to its curriculum.
What do we want? Honors! When do we want them? Now!
8 honors courses were set to be removed at Patrick Henry High. Principal Michelle Irwin said the courses were being dropped to improve equity, but many feared it could do the opposite. In an email yesterday, Irwin apologized to families and announced 2 eliminated courses would be brought back. However, the 6 others had yet to be restored. And dozens of students and parents still gathered at San Diego Unified Board meeting last night to protest.
We're protesting the removal of the honors and advanced classes because those provide the middle ground for students that may not have the resources to commit to an AP class, but also want to be challenged more than the college prep classes offer.
At the board meeting, trustee Kevin Beiser said the goal for Patrick Henry is for the school to be as inclusive as possible.
I honestly believe that Sophia and all the staff members and Michelle Irwin, I think she's a phenomenal educator, the parents, the teachers, the board members. I honestly think we all want Patrick Henry to be the best, most inclusive school possible.
At that same meeting, Beiser announced that Patrick Henry would restore all honors courses, but he did not give a timeline. Students like Vo and others feel a lack of honors courses will put college-bound students at a disadvantage. When applying to universities, a high GPA is more important than ever, especially with the removal of SAT and ACT requirements. Families argue that taking away these opportunities at one school will not correct inequities. Instead, it could worsen them by depriving students of access to courses that are offered at other schools in the county. For CTTV, I'm Jillian Fortner. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Jillian. We'll continue to follow the story and bring you the latest. And in international news, a former U.S. Marine has been released from Russian custody. Trevor Reed has been detained in Russia since 2019 and faced 9 years in prison. Reed was released in a prisoner swap for a Russian pilot convicted of drug trafficking. President Biden and the Reed family have confirmed Reed's release, and he is on his way back to the States. In other news, the Kremlin is being accused of blackmailing Poland and Bulgaria by halting its natural gas supplies. As the fighting in Ukraine intensifies, Russian energy supplier Gazprom has cut off both countries. The Kremlin denies this accusation. And here in the U.S., Ukrainian refugees are facing a new set of requirements to receive asylum. Ukrainians fleeing Russian invasion are now expected to apply online. That application includes a number of security and vaccination checks. Applicants must also be sponsored by an American citizen or a nonprofit. Officials hope this will reduce the number of individuals entering the country through its southern border. And a big win in France as President Emmanuel Macron clinches a second term. It makes him the first president in 20 years to be reelected. Supporters gathered at the Eiffel Tower to celebrate the win against right-wing leader Marine Le Pen. Allies worried an upset would lead to a change in course in France's support of Ukraine. And closer to home, as mask mandates are dropping in San Diego, COVID cases are going up. County data shows nearly 400 new cases were reported just this week. Medical experts say vaccinations have lowered the number of hospitalizations, but they strongly urge residents to get a vaccination and booster if they haven't already. And Twitter users have mixed feelings about the announced sale of the social media platform. Twitter has been sold to Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, paid $44 billion for the company. Musk says he is pushing for more free speech on the platform and giving its users more control over it. He wants to take Twitter private and enhance efforts to get rid of spam bots. Critics are concerned about the billionaire taking control of the influential platform. The sale is expected to close later this year. And the San Dieguito Union High School District has appointed a new interim superintendent. Associate Superintendent Tina Douglas will step in after Dr. Cheryl Ward was placed on administrative leave. Ward was at the center of controversy when she made an insensitive comment toward Asian American students and their families during a training session on diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And find out how long this cooling trend is going to last later with weather.
We'll be back after the break.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back to Newscene. One California freeway will soon keep you, your vehicle, and crossing big cats from crossing paths. Construction is underway on a 200-foot-long bridge over the 101 freeway north of downtown Los Angeles. The $90 million project is described as the largest of its kind in the world. Urban sprawl is an ongoing issue in Southern California for mountain lions, coyote, and deer. Supporters view it as a way of saving and supporting wildlife in the region. It is expected to be completed by early 2025. And the search for a hybrid or electric car has just gotten a little easier. U.S. News & World Report has announced the best hybrid and electric cars of 2022. The publication evaluated 82 vehicles in all. They looked at everything from price to fuel economy and even charging rate. Toyota earned top honors for best hybrid car with the Prius. The company's RAV4 also earned the best hybrid SUV award. The list was released as the demand for electric cars has increased as gas prices have soared. And a group of City College athletes is playing this weekend in a season-ending tournament. Ash, tell us more.
That's right, Jacob. Players from the City men's and women's tennis team will be playing in the so-called Regional Championship this weekend. Andrew Suber, Brian Espinoza, and Carlos Robles will be in the field for the 32 for the men. On the women's side, Olivia Stonk, Charlie Fitzmaurice, and Faith Staria are included in the season-ending draw. All matches start Friday morning at 9. Good luck to the Knights. And no city in the world knows how to host a party like Las Vegas. And the NFL will celebrate its draft starting tomorrow. 262 players will be holding their collective breaths as they wait to hear their name calling during the 3-day event. After the recent combines, top players like Georgia's Travon Walker and Alabama's Evan Neal should go early. The first round starts at 5 tomorrow on ESPN and ABC. That's all for sports today. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Ash. Definitely an exciting time for football fans. And here on campus, the final curtain will drop on the student musical You're in Town this Sunday. The show is a satirical comedy about a government's ban on private toilets and the citizens' fight for freedom. There are only 4 shows left from tomorrow through the weekend. For tickets and showtimes, visit citycollegetheater.com. And San Diego is one step closer to deciding the future of Midway District's Pechanga Arena. Josh, tell us more.
Thanks, Jacob. The San Diego City Council is keeping all its options on the table when it comes to the future of Pechanga Arena. All 5 proposals for redevelopment of the 50-acre lot in the Midway District will move forward. 2 of the bids seek to renovate the existing area. The remaining bids seek to replace it completely. But there are a few considerations that must take place. Those include prioritizing affordable housing and raising the 30-foot height limit that is currently in place. When and how those will be resolved are still unknown. And on a lighter note, get your dancing shoes ready. The House of Music will host Cuba Llegó, a celebration of Cuban music this Sunday at the Rady Shell at Jacobs Park. The big event will feature some of the hottest bands direct from Cuba, including Habana de Primera and Los Van Van. From the event, we'll go to the House of Music's outreach programs. It will also cover the cost of musical instruments for underserved and at-risk youth in San Diego. Get your tickets now because they're going fast. Visit thehouseofmusic.org for more information. That's all for entertainment. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Josh. I've been meaning to get down to the Shell, and this seems like the perfect opportunity. And an annual celebration of star watching continues here in San Diego and across the world. International Dark Skies Week raises awareness of the negative impacts of light pollution. 2 local communities have even been recognized for their efforts to preserve the view of the night sky, Julian and Borrego Springs. The event continues through Friday. And we woke up to some cloudy weather here on the coast. Estrella, is there rain in the forecast this week?
Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, we're not really expecting any rain showers in the forecast, but we are going to get a little bit of patchy drizzle later on. If you woke up this morning on the coast, it was pretty cloudy. There's a marine layer bringing in some low fogs, a cooling trend, and some gusty winds. All right, and on the coast, it's about 64 degrees and cloudy. But look at our mountain and desert regions. It is warm, it is sunny, but those southwest winds are ramping up, bringing a possible wind advisory later this week with winds going at about 35 to 45 miles per hour, so watch out for that. Right, and tonight with the sun setting at around 7:27 p.m., we've got 54 degrees up in Oceanside and down in Chula Vista, with 40 degrees over in Descanso, 42 in Mount Laguna. Yeah, and that patchy drizzle is only really supposed to last until Thursday. And then we'll have about a sunny Friday and Saturday, and that cooling trend isn't going to get our temperatures anywhere above 69 degrees this week going into next week. And that's all I have for weather today. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Estrella. I'm a native San Diegan, but I gotta say, I actually like the cooler weather. And the San Diego Unified School District has named its 3 2022 Teachers of the Year. It comes as part of National Teacher Appreciation Week. Josh Rosenberg of Scripps Ranch High School, Andrea Loico of Clay Elementary School, and Joe Paulson of Marston Middle School have all been chosen. The 3 will be honored at a virtual ceremony on May 3rd that will also feature student-produced content from the San Diego School of Performing Arts. For this week's news scene. You can tune in for a new show every Wednesday evening on ITV or anytime you want on YouTube. You can also keep up with the latest news from the entire City Times media team on sdcitytimes.com/newscene. This is Jakob McWhinney. Good night.